Okay, I am recording this for EM Henn. He's a introduction to business teacher, and right now I'm going to record the module 3. Module 4, key terms. Module 3 is legal, a bunch of legal terms, and module 4 is formation, I guess, of businesses, the different formations you can have of businesses. Okay, so it's early. I haven't had coffee. Give me grace. If anybody else watches this, I'm recording it for my own, so I can have audio clips on the go, because I'm a go person. Okay, Module 3, Administrative Law, or the rules, regulations, and orders passed by boards, commissions, and agencies of federal, state, and local governments. Administrative law. Antitrust regulation. Laws that prevent companies from entering into agreements to control trade through a monopoly. Antitrust regulation. Arbitration. Parties with a disagreement present their case to an impartial third party and are required to accept the arbitrator's decision. Arbitration. Breach of contract. When one party to a contract fails, without legal excuse, to fulfill the terms of the agreement. Common law. The body of unwritten law that has evolved out of judicial court decisions rather than being enacted by legislatures. It is also called case law, common law. Consumerism. A social movement seeking to increase the rights and powers of buyers vis-a-vis sellers. It's VIS apostrophe A with an accent mark above it -VIS, sellers. That's the first time I've ever seen that. I don't know what, it's probably French, I'm not sure. Latin, I don't know. Next one, contract. An agreement that sets forth the relationship between parties regarding the performance of a specified action. That's a contract. Copyright. An exclusive right given to a writer, artist, composer, or playwright to use, produce, and sell his or her creation. Deregulation. The removal of rules and regulations governing business competition. Express contract. Specifies the terms of the agreement in either written or spoken words. An express contract. Express contract specifies the terms of agreement in either written or spoken word. Express warranty. Specific statements of fact or promise about a product by the seller. Implied contract. Assumed by the actions of the parties. Implied warranty. Neither written nor oral, these warranties are assumed under certain conditions. Laws. The rules of conduct created and enforced by controlling authority, usually the government. Mediation. Similar to arbitration, but the parties are not bound by the mediator's decision. Patent. Grants an investor the exclusive right to manufacture, use, and sell an invention for 20 years. Product liability. A manufacturer's and seller's responsibility for defects in the product they make and sell. Service mark. A symbol, name, or design that identifies a service rather than a tangible object. Statutory law. Written law enacted by legislature at all levels. Strict liability. A manufacturer or seller is liable for any personal injury of property damage caused by defective products or packaging, even if all possible care was used to prevent such defects. Tort. A civil or private act that harms other people or their property. Trademark. A design, name, or other distinctive mark, Nike check, that a manufacturer uses to identify its goods. Uniform Commercial Code, UCC, sets forth the rules that apply to commercial transactions between businesses and between individuals and businesses. It's been adopted by 49 states. Louisiana uses only part of it. Okay, Louisiana, go on with your bad self. Okay, Module 4. This is the formation of businesses. I think that's what they called it. All right, let's get to it. Acquisition. The purchase of a target company by another corporation or by an investor group typically negotiated with the target company's board of directors. Board of directors. Group of people elected by the stockholders to handle the overall management of a corporation, such as setting major corporate goals and policies, hiring corporate officers, and overseeing the firm's operations and finances. Buyer, cooperative. A group of cooperative members who unite for combined purchasing power. C Corp, C Corporation. A conventional or basic form of corporate organization. Conglomerate merger. A merger of companies in unrelated businesses done to reduce risk. Cooperative. A legal entity typically formed by people with similar interests, such as suppliers or customers, to reduce costs and gain economic power. A cooperative has a limited liability and unlimited lifespan, an elected board of directors, and an administrative staff. All profits are distributed to the member owners in proportion to their contributions. Corporation. A legal entity with an existence and life separate from its owners, who are not personally liable for the entity's debts. A corporation is characterized by the state in which a corporation is chartered by the state in which it's formed and can be owner and can own property, enter into contracts, sue and be sued, and engage in business operations under the terms of its charter. Franchise agreement. A contract setting out the terms of a franchising arrangement, including the rules for running the franchise, the service provided by the franchisor, and the financial terms. Under the contract, the franchisee is allowed to use the franchisor's business name, trademark, and logo. Franchisee. In a franchising agreement, the individual or company that sells the goods or services of the franchisor in a certain geographic area. So the or owns the franchise. The franchisee essentially leases the name, logo, business, trademark from the owner of the franchisee, the franchise. Franchisor owns. The franchisee lists or leases. Okay. Franchising. A form of business organization based on a business arrangement between a franchisor, which supplies the product or service concept, and the franchisee, who sells the goods or services of the franchisor in a certain geographic area. Franchisor. In a franchising agreement, the company that supplies the product or service concept to the franchisee. General partners. Partners who have unlimited liability for all the firm's business obligations and who control its operations. General partnership. A partnership in which all partners share the management and profits. Each partner can act on behalf of the firm and has unlimited liability for all its business obligations. Horizontal merger. A merger of companies at the same stage in the same industry done to reduce cost, expand product offerings, or reduce competition. Joint venture. Two or more companies that form an alliance to pursue a specific project, usually for a specified time period. Leveraged buyout, LBO. A corporate takeover financed by large amounts of borrowed money can be started by outside investors or the corporation's management. Limited liability company, LLC. This is everybody's favorite. Everybody has an LLC. A hybrid organization that offers the same liability protection as a corporation, but may be taxed as either a partnership or a corporation. Okay. Limited partners. Partners whose liability for the firm's business obligation. Limited partners. Partners whose liability for the firm's business obligations is limited to the amount of their investment. They help to finance the business, but do not participate in the firm's operations. Okay. Merger. The combination of two or more firms to form one new company. partnership. An association of two or more individuals who agree to operate a business together for profit. S corporation or S corp, also very popular. A hybrid entity that is organized like a corporation with stockholders, directors, and officers, but taxed like a partnership with income and losses flowing through the stockholders and taxed as their personal income. Seller cooperative. Individual producers who join together to compete more effectively with large producers. Seller cooperative. Individual producers who join together to compete more effectively with larger producers. Sole proprietorship. A business that is established, owned, and operated, and often financed by one person. Stockholders or shareholders. Stockholders, shareholders. Looks like the same thing, just different. The owners of a corporation who hold shares of stock that carry certain rights. A vertical merger. A merger of companies at different stages in the same industry done to gain control over supplies of resources or to gain access to different markets. Okay, so let's just go ahead and go back through Module 4 and do a little bit of comparison for my own notes. This was the first time reading these. I mean, I've heard them all before, but like this is the first time reading them. For some of them in a long while. Okay, so vertical merger is a merger of companies. Okay, the first thing I'm going to compare is vertical and horizontal merger because those look like something to compare. Vertical merger, a merger of companies at different stages in the same industry done to gain control over supplies of resources or to gain access to different markets. Horizontal merger, a merger of companies at the same stage in the same industry, done to reduce cost, expand product offerings, or reduce competition. Okay, so now I'm going to compare the corporations. Let's start with a C Corp. A C Corp is a conventional or basic form of corporate organization. S Corp, a hybrid entity that is organized like a corporation with stockholders, directors, and officers, but taxed like a partnership with income and losses flowing through the stockholders and taxed as their personal income. Okay, let's do some partnership. And limited liability company, LLC, a hybrid organization that offers the same liability protection as a corporation, but may be taxed as either a partnership or a corporation. General partnership, a partnership in which all partners share in management and profits. Each partner can act on behalf of the firm and has unlimited liability for all of its business obligations. Sounds like if you're a general partner, you are in it to win it. You're responsible for everything, including the liability. Limited partners. Partners whose liability for a firm's business obligation is limited to the amount of their investment. They help to finance the business but do not participate in the firm's operations. Okay, there may be more to compare, but until I go through it and highlight it and organize it in my mind, there's no sense in putting it on a video. Okay, so that was Module 3 and Module 4 of EM Henn Intro to Business. Okay, next time I'll be doing Module 5 and 6. This professor does 2 modules at a time. This is the 6-week course. So if 6-week courses work for you, that's great. For me, they're a little express. I feel like if they were longer, if I could choose a longer class, it would probably benefit me more. But then that means I have to take more than one class at a time. But anyway, next up is 5 and 6. Bye for now.